Okay, so thank you for joining me. We're going to do we're going to be doing oops, just gonna, just if you can mute yourself on the way in. I'm just going to do a manifestation. We're just taking advantage of this manifestation window that we're in. And just, we're going to do it was 15 minutes, but it probably works at about 20 when you get with instruction. Kundalini Kriya that is designed specifically for prosperity. And then we're going to do a short bit of chanting, and then I'm going to do, still doing light language within that, and then I'm going to open it up to light language questions. So if you do have a question you'd like to ask the universe, then you can take advantage of that at the time, and just maybe pop your name or ask a question in the chat, just so I know that who's coming up, and I'll just pick randomly based on the time that we have. But yeah, first of all, we're just going to take advantage of this manifesting window and have a good bit of a clear out, but also a bit of an opportunity to kind of call in and open. I did a Kundalini set yesterday in my class, in-person class here, and it was really cool. Within the light language at the end, it was just this kind of unfurling these parts of yourself that you maybe think, well, I can manifest this, but I can't have this. And it was just kind of giving full permission. So I'd like to kind of set you up to start thinking first and foremost, am I giving myself permission to receive everything that can possibly be mine? And if there's a no in there, then just using this class to take advantage of the window and to open up your heart to receive more. So what we're going to do is, as we're doing Kundalini, we're going to just bring our hands together in prayer position, just press lightly against the chest and just pressing lightly against each other, and just taking an inhale here and just breathing in your essence on your inhale, and breathing in anything that's on your mind on the exhale. And you may have had a heavy week this week or last week, and that's in line with the energy that we're receiving. So just giving yourself some grace and compassion for that very human experience of some of the triggers and programs that have maybe shown up in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to tune in using the Kundalini mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And that's just calling in our innate wisdom, our divine wisdom, and just joining me for 3 of those. And then I'll follow it with 4 rounds of three times the protection mantra, which I'd like you to imagine a bright white light at your right, your back, your left, and your front as I'm calling in the protection mantra. Taking an inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Take an inhale, hold the breath. Use this moment to invite your higher self to be the most present part of you today. And exhale, another protection mantra. Adgure name, Jugat Gure name, Sat Gure name, Siddhi Gurudev name. Adgure name, Jugat Gure name, Sat Gure name, Siddhi Gurudev name. Adgure name, Jugat Gure name, Sat Gure name, Siddhi Gurudev name. Take an inhale, hold the breath. Imagine those 4 pillars of light shining together, emerging overhead, creating an energy dome of protection over you, over our group. And exhale. So the warm-up exercise we're going to do today is going to work on cleaning out the lymph glands, making the heart healthy, opening up the heart area. It's also good for the breast area, and it also works on balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Apparently it's really good for giving you that kind of quick, I know what to do kind of response. So we're going to have your arms are relaxed at your side with the palms facing forward, and you're going to alternately bend in an elbow, and you're going to bring it into the center of the chest, but you're not going to touch the chest. And we're just doing this for 3 minutes, and we're not bending the wrists or the hands. And you're going to move as rapidly as you can to just kind of call in. So I like to think of it as almost like I'm inviting in all this yummy energy into the heart space. Your breath will just regulate with the movement. Eyes are closed. And calling into the chest, so you're in front of the heart center. Opening up the heart center. Last 30 seconds. Deepen the breath. Bring more power to your movement. Take a deep inhale here with the hands out. Hold the breath. Open up the heart space and exhale. Going right into light language now. This would like you to just tap lightly at the third eye, giving permission for the light, the frequency, the code, and the sound to come into the body, to open up the manifestation portal for you, to open up your opportunities, to invite in more light. Allow, allow, allow. And then just relaxing the hands, comfortable breath, comfortable position, being open to receive. And I just really want you to focus your attention at the heart space. And maybe you have a sense in there of what it is that you're blocked on receiving in terms of your prosperity or abundance. And if you know what it is, then focus your attention on that. If you don't know what it is, then just focus the intention on an open heart. Tuarikittina karakata marakutiki hamarakaina, kurkutiki kitika marakaka tukina nakatoki kinamarukuina, manada takarkutiki marakina karakutuki kinina nakatukia, marakuyitira nakatoki kitokurkinira tiki marukwatiki kina marakaina, manukurikiti kitotoki hara marakatuki kinamarakito karikina mariana. Rakito kanakita kamarukwikito kanara takaramarukuri tiki kana karakutuki tukuinaka. Barukurakita katokoni karamarakuina katuki takakina marakoto kakita marakato nei. Marakato karikito kanikaramana takatora tiki marukoto kikamanato kikamarukui ratukati kikina marakana katoki kamara. Manada takarakuti kinakarakita nakatokurukuina nana katoki kamarukuri kitokuya manakatoki kamarakoina. Konegana kana marakotiki na kadikino marakoni data korokotiki moroko haina kata kakokina marina. Urukoriki de kina marakata kana marakotiki no kina karakato kari manakokina. Manakarakotuki na marakotiki na marakoti na karakata kana maroko eitiki na kata 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 kamarokoira taka marokoira taka na manikina. Marakana kitiki marokoreketa marakotiki na marokotiki marokoira. Marakato ke marakotiki ni karikata marokoira taka marokoira taka marikito kaniana. Kena karakorina kete mara karta kata ke mara koira tiki mo koina kata karakoro ko mari kara mara koira tiki maro genai. Take an inhale for me, hold the breath. Allow, allow, allow. And exhale. So we're now going to do a 5-part Kriya called Sober Kriya. And it's completely designed for prosperity. So it's a really powerful one. This is my go-to always. If I feel like I'm manifesting something, kind of maybe got some blocks or I'm maybe getting the full force of it, this is what I go for. Because you can, in a short amount of time, really achieve a lot with your energy on this one. So I'm actually going to start now with, just getting music cued. We're going to start now with, we're going to be using the mantra HUD, H-U-D, HUD. And so the sound is spelled H-A-R, but the sound is hitting the roof of the mouth at HUD. So just practice that sound, HUD. And when you're making that sound, you're also pulling in the diaphragm. So it's kind of like a powerful HUD. So you're making that nice, powerful sound. So we're going to be chanting HUD as we do the first movement. And that is going to be, we're going to be touching the index fingers side together, and then we're going to be hitting here as well. And it is a hit that comes in. So you're hitting here, hitting the Jupiter mount here as well. And we're going to be doing that and then coming in and doing that. And it's at an angle here in front of the heart space. So you're going to come under and then bring it up there. And we're doing that with the HUD. So each of these is a HUD that we're hitting on here. And we're doing this one for 3 minutes. Volume okay? It takes about 10 seconds to warm up the song. And the eyes are closed. I like to think of it as like we're collecting in and we're collecting with that HUD, 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 HUD. Pulling that diaphragm with the HUD, 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 HUD. Collect your manifestations. Collect all your abundance. Last 20 seconds. Take an inhale. Receive. Open your heart to receive. Exhale. You're now going to have your fingers spread wide and stiff, and you're bringing them up in front of the head, and we're going to be crisscrossing them, and you're crisscrossing in front of the third eye. So your fingers are very stiff here, and we're doing it to the same music, but this time you're mentally chanting Hud, Hud, and you're alternating which hand goes in front each time. So this can be a little bit arm intensive. So I always give you full permission to remember that your brain does not know the difference between you doing something and you thinking something. So if you need to bring your arms down, what you can do is mentally keep it going. Bring the arms down, shake them, bring them back up. No one knows. You're still getting all the energy. It's amazing. Okay, so we are going to do this now. We're going in 3 minutes here, calling in all the riches for us. Let's go. The eyes are closed. We're here for 3 minutes. You should be crossing on the HUD. Fingers are stiff. Antennas to the universe. Mentally chanting HUD. Straight arms if you can. One minute to go. Take an inhale, arms wide, fingers stiff, receive. And exhale, give the arms a quick shake. And just while you're quickly shaking, the next exercise we're doing is arm intensive as well, but I promise it's the last one that's up. With this one, I'm going to just give you a quick disclaimer. If you find the word God triggering, continue using the word HUD. So this one is, we're going to be making these, we're making a fist and the thumb is inside the fist, and we're making a backward circle, and we're chanting with the music, God, 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 God. In Kundalini yoga, obviously for us, God is the universe, it's source, it's your higher self. But if you do find that word triggering, I definitely did at the beginning, then please use the word HUD and just do whatever's comfortable for you, but just keeping this rhythm. I think of it as like almost like each circle is like kind of almost like attaching the prosperity from the universe and kind of calling it in, bringing it in, almost like you're reeling it in. So we're going to do that to the same music, and our eyes are still closed, and we're chanting this one out loud. God, 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 God. The backward circle. So be squeezing that thumb tightly and small backward circles. Reel it in, reel your abundance in. One minute left. Squeezing that thumb, last 15 seconds. Inhale, stretch, squeeze, and relax. Shake out your arms. the last of the really heavy stuff. We're now going to be doing movement, which is having that hands just in front of the body here, nice and gentle. So your left hand is, your palms are facing into the body, and your left hand is facing closer to the body. The right hand is outside of it. And we're going to be making this kind of chopping motion here. And we're going to be chanting as we do that. The chant that we're doing is Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. So Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. And it's in a deep monotone, but as long as you're making something similar to that sound, it will count. We're going to be doing this one. We're going to do 1 minute of chanting, 1 minute loud whisper, and 1 minute whistling. And that's the 3 minutes of this part of the exercise. Okay. So closing the eyes, left hand closer to the body, right hand outside. And the motion should be going up to the throat chakra, down to the root. And it's this chop, 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 pause when we go. So Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. I like that, okay? So closing the eyes, 1 minute here. Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. 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 Whisper. Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. Just up to the throat chakra, not higher. Had, Hari, Hari, Wa, He, Guru. 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 Whistle. Inhale, exhale. So you're now going to bend your elbows. This is the last exercise in this. You're going to bend your elbows and your right forearm is going to be on top of your left. And you're going to be, you might want to put your arms down just for a second. And you're going to be taking it's called a 1 minute breath, but actually it's most likely for most of us not going to be 1 minute. So you're going to take an equal inhale. So it might be anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds, long, slow inhale. Then you're going to hold for an equal amount of time. So if you've held in for 10 seconds, if you've breathed in for 10 seconds, you're going to hold for 10 seconds and then breathe out for 10 seconds and then start the cycle again. If you're doing it for 20 seconds, it'll be a 20-second inhale, 20-second hold, 20-second exhale. So somewhere between 10 to 20 seconds here. Do the best that you can. And we're here for 3 minutes And I find if my arms gets tired, I just kind of grip my left one as I'm going here. Okay, eyes are closed. And at your own pace, taking a long, slow, deep breath in as long as you can, counting. And then you're going to hold for equal amounts that you just breathed in. And then whenever you're ready on that part of your journey, you're going to breathe out an equal amount and start the cycle again. So with this meditation, there's instructions with it that say that I'm going to give you a very handy tool, one that you can use anywhere and you'll become rich. To become rich and prosperous with wealth and values is to have the strength to come through. It means that transmissions from your brain and the power of your intuition can immediately tell you what to do. So this is what we've been receiving now, not only that prosperity, that wealth, but also the right action through intuition. Keep going with the breath. One minute to go. Take an inhale here, hold, and exhale, shake out the arms. You want to shake out the legs as well or change positions. Okay, so just taking a moment, closing the eyes, just doing a quick body check, energy check, where you're feeling today. Maybe anything that shifted from doing those exercises. And just from this position, being open to receive more light language, calling in more of the light that helps guide your prosperity towards you. Terikinara takarakute marakina kurukute kinakata kamarukura kina marakore kito kanikana mana kiti kikana mana barukura kito nakarakata marukuina karakuya marakato kito marakina karakuina baruku kiti kina karakato kike manankana na takore kito kamarina karakato kikina marakina kurukuina takara marukuina barakito kanigana marakina karakure kito kanigana manaki kokina Manira tokare kito kan manakara kotiki kamarakare kito kan marakato ke kimarakura kitikina barako koyana nakato ke kamarukoe takana kari kito ke marukitiki murukoira kamarukitiki ne marakato kanira kono marakitiki ne marakokita marakaya rokoira e takata kana marakoe ne kana karakato ke marukuki ne karakato kito kanai Barakata kana kana marakutiki kana marakata kana kuruko kana kita na marakaya tukakina Marakato kikita kana marakato kikina marakato kikina. You're being asked, can you chant and you mentally chant the word I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, just asking you to let go of those old beliefs that are no longer serving you. Tenikirikata kana marakoina kitiki marakoina karakato kikina marakito kikina marakato kikina karakana marakukini karakita kakamarukoina kito karige marakita kakayana. Mana karakato kene karakato kene harata marukitiki ke marakato ke kena karakurbuina kato ki ke marukuina kito kakita kene kana kata karakutiki yana nakato kukuya. Wana karakato i kena karakure marakio rokutiki ke morakitiki ke mukoya. Ki atatatori ke marakana kato yana karakutiki e murukuki kamarakato ke kena kata murukuira. Kira kana marakato ni na kato ke hara hato ke hina marakato ko ke na kana marako yana ki to ko kita ka marako ki ne ke ka marako yana mana ki ne ke ke marako yana ta ka marako ti ki ni karakato na marakato ki ke mana kato ki kana marakato ki ya porko yana kato kato ke ki marako na to ki to ko marakato ki na ki te ke marako yana ka karako marakini ra ta ka marako ki te ka maya. Taking a deep inhale for me, hold the breath. Allow, allow, allow. And exhale. I'm just going to do 3 minutes of chanting Lakshman. Again, this is my go-to mantra for prosperity. So this is what I'll run in the car if I'm particularly focused on a manifestation. So this one is just going to be simple. Lakshman, 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 Om, Om, Lakshman. And we're just singing along with White Sun. So nice and easy. Okay, so just joining in, making similar sounds Lakshman as it is, but it's a very nice one. Om, Om, Lakshman. Just have your hands, index finger and thumb touching, eyes are closed, resting down. Lakshman, 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 Om, Om, Lakshman, 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 Om, Om, Lakshman. Feel yourself surrounded by riches. Inhale, hold, feel those riches all around you and however that's coming up for you. Doesn't need to be money. And exhale. Just the last light language before we go to Q&A. Gini rata kan markodi kina karakato kan menu koti kina karake takatuka kini mana rato koti kina kata kan markodi kiti kina markoina mana karakoti kina marakato kina markodi kita markoina mana kuri kiti kina markoina tikira markoina kira markiti kina rato kan markato kina karakoto ka maraka mana totoki kore kana manakito kina marakana rato kuri kiti markoina Marakato karikana maraka to karikana dikiti kana marakato kanina marakaro kuti ne kata karai marakara korketo marukuina nakato kira marakiara to kokito marakato kariya monai marakoto ki kana karaka marukuti ki marukurikito kana marakata kata kana marukuina kato kina marakia re tata kato kira taka marakato kariya marakina karakoto kina marakato korikita marai manakata kato erati kana marukuda kato na marakita kariya marukuina kato kina era. Focus your attention at your solar plexus and your third eye and just the connection between the two. Manira takarato koreketo kore marakato kiyana marakato korigera marakure kito korigera marakita kana karakotikina monokurikoti kene kara marakara to kore monokurikito kore manakara kore monokai kiti kine marakaina. Oh, ina nakato ki marakia, ki marakita ki marakan nakarakoti ki marakada katori na marakato kari ki maria nakati ki marakia manakara koti ki barako ira tiketa kamarakin nakarakato kari manakir to marakoira takar marakati ki marakoina. Marakana katukari ki marakin nakati ki marakori ki marakato kari ki marakoira ti marakoti ki marakoina. Kira takare ki marakoina nakato kari kutu ki marakato ki na marakuri ki mahaya. Take an inhale for me, hold the breath. Allow this light, this energy, this frequency, this cause to keep working the next 24, 48 hours to keep embodying power, manifestation, expansion, flow, and exhale. I'll just share with you what came through, and then we'll, you might want to start thinking about if you've got a question you want to ask the universe, and that I can deliver with light language. So it's really hard for me to remember the first bit now. So there was a sense of, the sense of not receiving, the sense of kind of having closed off one part of yourself and being like, yeah, I can get this. Yeah, I can get this. No. And it felt like everybody had their own personal no buried deep within their heart. And there was just kind of then this light coming out from there, this kind of expansion going out, and this kind of almost like, beams coming out, kind of almost like, ping, ping, ping. I'm going to bring that in for me. And there was just really then a sense of connection to the universe there as well. The second light language was like, it was almost like, this is for people that maybe not, back in the day when you had a perm and they used to put a cap on your head and then pull the hair out through the cap so they could put the bleach on the hair. Like that, I'm just showing my age. Like that, it's almost like there's stuff here, there's stuff under the bottom that the universe wants to get at, and I had to kind of get it in there and hook it out, get in there and hook it out, get in there and hook it out. And then once it was out, it was this kind of like, floaty kind of woo. So it was just kind of like all these things that are trapped under this, the sense was under like, something kind of plastic and hard and unmalleable, but actually there were holes within everything to be able to release things. So it's good to have kind of a sense of that, of like handling that out, because once it was out, it was very free flowing. And then the last part was doing connecting the third eye and the solar plexus. And it was really interesting. I had to kind of clean your third eye. And once I'd cleaned it, I was like poking a finger into it, and then it would pull out the power here. And so the way I interpreted that was like, the more you kind of push in and go into your third eye, your intuition, to get something, the more your power said to kind of like blossoms outward and booms outward from there. So it's kind of a real sense of, the more intuition you're pushing in, the more you're kind of being like, that might be how you think it should be done, but actually my intuition's telling me this. The more you're leaning into that, the more you are setting your power center, which of course then allows you to have more access to more flow, to more abundance, to more everything there. There's a couple of crystals on here. It was just a sense by the end of all these riches all around, and just a sense of kind of like, you're just going to be like, oh, diamonds today, okay. And then the next day you're like, oh, I feel like rolling in a bag of money. And the next day you're like, oh, it's just like rich in connection today. And just like a sense of there being so many jewels now laying at your feet. It's up to you what you want to do with them, but they are there. So what I would recommend is that if you haven't done any manifestation work in this portal, is to spend some time today to do that. If you have, then just go back in there with the sense of this energy around you, and just kind of go over it and just infuse these kind of jewels that are sort of sitting all at your feet right now, and kind of fuse everything with that, just to kind of really amplify what you're calling in. So is there anybody that would like to ask a question that I will answer in light language and then translate to my best ability? Anybody? I mean, Dave and Deborah, I'll be seeing you shortly, so you can have your own questions there, but anybody else? Could be anything. I mean, ideally prosperity focused, if it could really be anything, you know, why am I blocked in receiving my dream home? Why, you know, why am I blocked in receiving, you know, it could be, you know, what could I call in for myself that will open up my channels of abundance? Tiana's up. Let's go.
Hi. I'm having a little bit of trouble receiving clients at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd like a little bit of guidance on what's blocked, because I had my massage business before, and it was going quite smoothly, and then my dogs passed away and I stopped because I couldn't give to anyone. And now I'm coming back all fresh and offering kinesiology. And there's this block, and I'm not too sure what it is, to receive clients again, but in a different way.
Okay. All right, let's just go in. So with these Q&As, everyone receives at the same time. So we're all holding space for each other, but even if this isn't the question that makes sense to you, there's something within this that will make sense to you in terms of, so we all receive the light language for Tiana. We receive it because it's going to make sense to all of us, even if we at this point be like, oh, I've got a problem. Okay, somewhere this is going to have a connection for us as well. So just everyone closing the eyes. Warikidina takarakato kina marakato kina kirkito marikato kana karakuto kina karakito rukina kira marukuita kina kira marukuina manakarakato kirkitina marukuina takarakina marakito kina kira marukuina garaskira marakato kina marina karakuti kita kana Baruhoti kini karakata kamarukina karakita karika marakuina karakuti kina marukuti kara marakina ratukuti ki manakata karakato kina marakito kina kira marakano karikuina takarukuto kina karakato kina kati kitone manara takato kita marakato kina manakita kika marukurikita marakato kina manakata kitu kurukuto kina karika marakuti kira marakuina kata karako marakuti kina marukuti kika marukuina manakara kato karika marakanga makato kika marakito karika marakiti kika marakuti kina maraka Parakurikite na karaketo karika marakina ratakato kuina taraka marukuti kira kamarukuina takara kurukuru marakita kamarukutu kika marakito karika marakaya Moriketo karika marakato karika manika takara kato karika kato karika marakuti kira marakiana Barakatoira takamarakuti na karakatokare marakit keneketa para marakiara kurukutu ki marakito panikara marakato ki kina marakato kokiana Kodeira takana marakote kinara katukani na katakari katukani mana Munukari kenta marakato kari kina maraketa kari kurukutu kina marakana warukuru kina katukari kina marakato ki kina marakoti kitena katakara koru hina Take an inhale for me, hold the breath. Allow. Allow more revelations to come with this light language, more openness, more flow. And exhale. There was a sense of, this is going to be a little tough lovey one, I think. So there's a sense of the story of grief. There's a story around grief that you're not allowing to be what it really is. You're kind of holding it in place that almost kind of holds you as a victim to it. So I'm going to just assume that it's around the dog's butt. For you, you'll interpret that however. But there's almost like, yes, we grieve and then we learn. And it's almost like, can you get to yourself to the point where you really see the lessons of that? I mean, I think on a practical level, you probably do, but there's an energetic piece that's missing, which hopefully this light language will kind of have freed out of it, because it was almost like this, both of your crystals that came through were black. This is a jet crystal, which is really good for grief. And it was this tiny pocket in your heart space that is just kind of like, it's almost like, although it's not your whole heart space, it's like around like the center part of your heart, like kind of holding a little bit of like the integral part of you in place. And then it came out to the throat chakra as well. So with that, then I really think it's around how you're telling this story. When you talk about, you know, and let's just go with it being the dog's passing, but if it could be something else, then, you know, just go and dig deep on that. But let's just say it's your dog's passing, then within that, think about how do you tell that story and how could you retell it, because that'll be some freedom there in terms of it's holding you in place, it's holding you in one place and not allowing you to move forward, and you have all the capabilities to take all of that. It's just possibly just this message today was just what's going to free you. Does that resonate?
Yeah, that does really resonate. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Huh?
I can feel that in my heart. I'm just like, don't cry.
No, you're okay to cry. You're okay to cry. What they're asking you to stop is to let go of any sense of being a victim, you know, like to that, which is really common with grief anyway, you know, like, why me? Why did, you know, all of this stuff. But it's time to evolve that to your highest and best good, because, you know, your dogs are still around you and you know that. And it's just like they really want you to kind of move on with that as well. So that's just like a big picture. Everyone wants you to kind of go, okay, taking all the stories, taking all the power, taking all the, you know, the goodness that they gave you, and then now saying, okay, I'm using this as a power, not a wound.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Who's up next? Anybody? No, Alyssa, okay. And then Nikki, we'll do you next.
Oh, Nikki put it in the chat first. And
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, Nikki, let's go.
So I just really wanted to ask the universe for me, like with is it my career progression that I need to focus my energy on, or for my gifts, or is it through my business?
Okay.
I guess I'm getting confused. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go in. Mikirikidana karukini marikitikina karakotikina marakato kitina karakotokikina kremanakwini kitikina era to karakimariana. Barakato kirigana katikira maroko or tiki marakito kanikrakita nakaragana karakotikire manakito nakira mana. Manara kito kurkoti kinera takato kukira marakore tikite kinera to kurkoti marakina ketokita kamaraya. Marakito kirigana katakarakoto kini marakato kikoto kina marakato kina kato kiri marakaro kotikina marakoina ketakarakito kura marakito kumarkoi. Manakariana karakurkoti kinikira marakia kana marakura kitikira marakoti kinikira marakoti kina katukakina. Kira takano kurikita kana kira ta na karakurikita marukurikita kurika marukurikita marakato kiki maraki or kurikita marukuniana na karakuriana. Manaki ratakato kurikina karakita kurika manakurikia na katukurikina maraki ratakato kurikina marikia kurikita. na kere kato kiri na kara kito kuri kene kiri kene mara koto kene kere mana kato kiri kene mara koto kene kere mana kere kato kiri mana kato kiri kito kono mara kia na kara koto kene mara kori na kere kato kiri mana kito kiri kene kere tiena mana kato kiri kito kene mana kato kiri kito mana kato kene kere mara koi na kato kiri kene mara kito kiri kito ta kana mara koi na mana kato kiri kito kene kere kene mana kato kito kene mara koi na kato kere mara koi ati kito mara koto kene kere kito kono mara kito kene moi Barukurekete kurekete kamarukurekete ana karakato karina karakato kari marakite kikire karamarukurekete kare marakato kikita marakurekete ana karakutekina marakarakoto kikamarukurekete kurekete marakato karikira marakita takato karikira marukurekete kurekira marukurekete kana karamarukuya. Take an inhale for me, hold the breath. Allow, allow, allow. And exhale. So Nikki, there was a sense of cutting off at your, it felt, at first I thought it was a cutting off of wings. It was just kind of like this kind of almost like this armor down in place here that just kind of didn't allow any kind of movement. But then it almost came out once I kind of started freeing it, almost came out like spikes out of you. But it wasn't in the sense of you being spiky or anything. It was almost like your soul, you know, your soul power, your kind of like magnificence, your radiance was kind of emanating out from you in these kind of energy waves. It was blue. With that, there was a sense of focus on your soul's evolution. And then everything else kind of comes with that. So that means that obviously your soul's evolved anyway, but it's like, what did you come to do in this lifetime? Are you in line or in step with that progress for that? And if you're not, where are you holding yourself back? And to start kind of clearing some of that energy out of the way. So it's a sense of, you know, you came here in this lifetime, in this body with a mission. Are you on track with that? And if you can say yes, then great. But if you don't feel like you are, that's the work that needs to be done, where it's kind of going, okay, what, you know, and you might be like, what does that mean? Only you can answer that. But it was a sense of like, if you have a pull in you somewhere where you kind of feel more pulled to, like this feels more mission based, but you know, I'm scared or whatever, start taking the steps towards that, because there's a lot of rewards there for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that resonate?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. So just really kind of go in and think, okay, I'm taking that message. What would I like to do? What action steps can I take from that? They're going to kind of like get me more in flow with my soul's mission. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. All right. Last one, Alyssa.
Yeah. I just want to know what would be most beneficial for me to be calling in as far as prosperity goes at this moment. Like we've already worked on all of the work stuff, the career stuff, the soul's mission stuff, but like, what should I be calling in as far as this 6 days?
Funny, straight away it's already like words. I'm like, okay, what should be your prosperity is words.
Should I? Should I ask a question about my love life then?
Well, let's just go in and see where we get. Well, let's put both in there, like, because you've got words are your prosperity, right? So it's like almost like, do you feel like you've got power, you know, piles of words all around you, like everyone else is seeing jewels, you usually be seeing like, you know, language and, you know, prose and all of these things all around you, and it was like jumping around, like ready to get to work. But yeah, let's go in and let's just see where we end up with either of those two questions. So either more prosperity or love as well. Okay. Kurikini nakata rakato kurigi murukutiki nakarakato kurigi nakarakato murukutiki nakarakato kurigi marakita karakini marakato kikita marakano kurikutiki murukutiki nakarakato kurina manakarakato kiki marakato kuti nakarakano murukutiki nakarakato murukutiki nakatakata murakarikiti nakarakato kurigi marakita nakarakato kana murukutiki kirikiti murukutiki kurigi nakato kurina Barakari kena karakati kena marikera no kutikita manakato karikera manakato karikita murukuyana marakati kena kirikana marakata kana karakutu kurika marakira kanara to karikana maraketu kariara karakanara to kuti kena marakana katto karikana marakato karikana katto karikuya Kurihina kaya tara kata kora marakuto kaya malakato kaya marakura kaya rakwati kaya marakuti kaya marakato kaya marakino kurukuto kaya manara kato kaya marakita kata manakara kutuera kaya marakana kato kaya marakuri kaya marakito kaya maraka irata kaya no kurukoya kato kaya mokoya. Yatati nakarakata na manakatura kati nakatuka kita manakaya marukuru kuru kuti na marekana kata kata kati kamariko kina kata kata ka kuru kuti kina manakatu kari kina marakia kutu kari kina marakati kina marukuti kina makoyana. Take an inhale, hold the breath. Allow, allow, allow. And exhale. Still words. Words for both though. It was really interesting. Words for both. Still words. So words are your superpower. So you've got this kind of puzzle. It's like, are you on dating websites at the moment?
I am.
Yeah. So go back in and look at what words you're using there, and then turn on your magic and like go back in today with this energy and rewrite it, or have a look at it and think about, am I showing up authentically? Am I using words that express myself authentically? You know, how am I connecting on a deeper level with these people? Will they receive the energy? Because almost everything I did then was at your throat chakra, and I was pulling out all these strands of words, and I was just pulling them out and pulling them out and pulling them out and putting them out. And then once they kind of like were free, then this big kind of like energy was just open here, and it was almost like you could just vomit anything word wise, obviously, just kind of like blur, and it would just be like super powerful, kind of almost like blue but with gold flecks through it, just kind of like a really beautiful kind of energy that goes with your words there. So does that resonate?
Oh, makes total sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for all the questions and for joining me today. I encourage you to pay attention to the next few days on what might show up for you in terms of prosperity. So when I've done, like, I remember doing a class with like 14 people, an online Kundalini class with light language, and afterwards, the next day, everyone had a message for me. Someone got 10 cents off at the counter, their discount. Someone got a 2-for-1. Someone got a coffee. Someone got $200 check in the mail that they weren't expecting. Someone had their tires paid for free. It was all these little things, and it can be everything from that 10 cents all the way up. I think even for me yesterday, I did a Kundalini class in the morning, and I had, oh yeah, I was just like, the things I'd been looking for in the supermarket that hadn't been in stock for months were all in there. I was literally dancing in the supermarket, and the supermarket guys are like, okay. And I was like, would you rather I moan? Because I'm like, my cheese is in. And it's like, that's, to me, it's prosperity right then, because like for weeks I'm not to eat my vegan cheese. So pay attention to where's the flow for you after this, and just be noticing the tiny bits of magic just as much as you're noticing, you know, the big checks and the flow of new clients and the things like that. If anyone has anything you want to share with me after this, please get in touch. And if you have any weird questions or whatever, just reach out to me in whatever channel we normally use, and I'm happy to answer them. But thank you for joining me. And I will put on my Instagram, Zomac Energy, I will put up the picture of the crystals from the group session. But yes, thank you so much. Oh, we didn't close out. Bringing the hands into prayer position. Oh, we've got to do that bit. And just going to do 3 long satnams, calling in our vibration of truth. Inhale. Sa. Na. Sa. Nam. Sat. Nam. Sat Nam. Oops, I'll stop the recording.